R and P are given on the lines QS and QT. Study the triangle carefully, then identify and name the parallel. So as you can see that this triangle, they have not given us anything to show that there will be a parallel line, because we cannot see if R is the midpoint. They did not give us if R is the midpoint. We don't know if it is the midpoint. And if P is the midpoint of QT, we don't know if it is the midpoint. So the solution will be this point R and P. They say then identify and name the parallel lines. This triangle does not have parallel lines, does not have parallel lines at all, and does not have a name. So the solution, the line TS, as you can see, the line TS and PR are not parallel according to the midpoint theorem, because the line PR does not bisect QT. Yeah, it does not bisect um, TQ and SQ. Therefore, there are no parallel lines in the triangle. Yeah. The figure below shows a large triangle with the vertex A, B, D, and a smaller triangle with the vertex C, D, and E. Point C is the midpoint of BD, and point E is the midpoint of AD. So point E is the midpoint of AD, and point C is the midpoint of BD. So they've given us a small triangle and a big triangle. So question A said three angles are given. Angle A is equal to 63 degrees, and angle B is equal to 91 degrees, and angle D is equal to 26 degrees. Determine the value of DCE. So they want us to determine the value of DCE. First of all, because we're given that this E is the midpoint of DE, which means that this CE will be parallel to BA. You're gonna say that CE is parallel to BA. And then midpoint theorem, or yeah, you can say midpoint theorem because it's the rule. Midpoint theorem, because we know that this is a midpoint theorem, they have said that we must determine the value of DCE. As you can see, because here we have parallel lines, and I can see that I can see a corresponding. You can see this is a corresponding. I can see a corresponding angle here because of parallel lines, which means that this C will be equal to this B. The result will be corresponding angle. So you're gonna say that ACD is equal to ABC. So ACD is equal to ABC. Then you're gonna say ECD is equal to ABC. Or you can say ABC, or yeah. Which in case you're gonna say corresponding. Angle. Reason will be CE is parallel to BE. CE is parallel to BE. And then after that, you're gonna say that therefore ECD or DCE is equal to 91 degrees. And then we are done. The two triangles in this equation are similar triangles. Complete the following statement correctly by giving the three vertex in the correct order. There is only one correct answer. So we have a similar triangle. Two triangles in this question. They say that they are similar triangles. Similar means they are like, you know, they are similar things. They are similar, not like the same. They're just similar. They're similar. But okay, complete the following statement correctly by giving the three vertex in the correct order. There is only one correct answer. Okay, so we're going to this triangle. In order for us to prove that this triangle DEC is similar to this bigger triangle, which they have asked us about, how are we going to find if this small triangle is similar to this big triangle? How are we going to find out? Because we're given two triangles, bigger triangle and smaller triangle. So we have to prove if this triangle is similar. Uh, First of all, you're gonna say that D is equals to D. The reason is common angle, or you can say corresponding angle. But I prefer common angle. So D is equals to D, which is equals to 26 degrees. So you're gonna see that D is equal to D. Reason because of corresponding angle, and also as you can see, because of corresponding angle or common angle. As you can see in my triangle, I can see a corresponding angle, which is this C is equals to this C. So this bigger triangle is equals to this small triangle at this. Or you can see that I can see a corresponding angle here where this E is equals to this E. This E is equals to this E. Reason will be a corresponding angle. That is the reason. And that is the reason. And then therefore you're gonna be like, okay, if E is equals to E. The reason, okay, corresponding angles. Corresponding angle, which means that E will be equals to 63 degrees. And also that you're gonna say that, okay, because it is equals to 63 degrees, you're gonna say, oh, okay. Another reason is that this is equals to this one. Because a corresponding angle, same as that, easy. So you're gonna say that, okay, my angle DEC is equals to my angle CBA. Or you can say that my angle DEC is equals to my angle EAB. So let's write angle, or you're gonna use like DABBBBB. Okay, DE. So E is equals to angle A because of corresponding angle, and you're gonna see that you're gonna say that D angle C is equals to angle B because of corresponding angle. And then you're gonna say, oh, therefore triangle DAB, which is this one. Therefore, you're gonna say triangle DAB is similar to triangle DEC. You can see DEC, DAB, they are both similar. So triangle DAC is similar to triangle DEA. And then you are done with this one. The figure below shows a large triangle with the vertex G, H, and K, and a similar triangle with the vertex J, K, or point J is the midpoint of HK, and point L is the midpoint of GK. Three angles are given. G is equal to 98 degrees, and H is equal to 60 degrees, and K is equal to 22 degrees. Determine the value of KGL solution. So they want the value of KGL. Oh, how are you gonna find the value of KGL? Because they've given us a smaller triangle is similar to the larger triangle. So the figure below shows the vertex and similar triangle with point J, and they've said that point J is the midpoint. Point J is the midpoint of KH or HK, and point L is the midpoint of KG. So because you know that this is a midpoint of L is the midpoint of KG, you have to know that if it is a midpoint, this means that this side and this side are equal, and this side and this side are equal. For you to find this angle, you gotta use a corresponding angle. You can see that corresponding angle, angle H is equal to angle J, which is J is equal to 60 degrees, and then you will be down and you give your reason why. You're gonna say, oh, okay, JL is parallel to HG because of midpoint theorem. Easy. And then you're gonna say, okay, KGL is equals to GHHG, and then which is 60 degrees, and then you're done. Very easy.